because there's real criticism here that corporates aren't moving fast enough and governments aren't moving fast enough either. So what's the role of UN Global Compact in attempting to accelerate that ability of the private sector to not just put their money where their mouth is, but put real initiatives in place to advance the climate conversation?
So important, because what we really want now is action. We're so far off in terms of climate targets and where we need to be. So I agree, the private sector is a key actor. What are we doing? I think first providing clear pathways for decarbonization. UN Global Compact is one of the co-founders of Science-Based Targets Initiative that provides an evidence-based way to decarbonize and make sure it's done in a credible and accountable way. So we provide tools, guidance, and mobilization for the private sector on that. That's one of the very practical things. Secondly is working with others, such as the NDC partnership, to make sure that private sector are part of these NDC discussions, because at the end of the day, as you say, a lot of the implementation and action lies with them. The third, I think, and what we do really well in the Global Compact is foster an environment of accountability and transparency. We want to be sure that the companies and CEOs can stand up for their climate commitments and not greenwash or green hush, but be accountable about what they're doing. It's certainly not easy, but I think that gives us a true path of where we stand.
One of the key themes on the ground here is the incoming Trump administration and the shadow that this is essentially casting over these talks. A lot of suggestions that we're going to see a slowdown in a lot of global climate progress as a result. Of course, there are others who would disagree with that. This is just one of many elections that we've seen play out around the world this year so far. What's the impact for corporates, though, in your view? And will we see a deceleration in global climate progress as a result of the Trump administration next year?
Well, look, it's certainly a remarkable year. I think there's been over 60 elections around the world. What is concerning, I think, is a general theme, perhaps, on rolling back on climate commitments. That is so important at a time when we need actually a movement forward in terms of where we are. And as I said earlier, government really does set the overall umbrella and framework. So there is a concern that there will be a deceleration, perhaps at the highest political levels. What we have to look forward to, there are countries that are making strong commitments still. We need to ride on those and back those. You also have, by and large, a private sector that is truly committed to delivering. So I think we need to be able to balance where we are, but also look at things such as regulation, level playing fields, de-risking, driving action on a number of levels, not just at national levels, at city levels, at subnational government levels, and within the private sector. So, I think we need to strike the balance, and that's what COPs are so important for. It's bringing us around a consensus, and certainly we do need to move forward, both politically and in terms of private sector action.